Well, Nate, why don't you try drinking some coffee, see if that makes you feel any better.
Coffee. Yeah. I love coffee. Oh, wow. Man, that tastes really good, man.
Awesome.
Man, it's been a while since I had a good cup of joe, you know?
Yeah. That's not a good cup of joe. That's a crappy cup of joe.
Oh man, this coffee tastes like dirt.
Hey, the way, yeah. Hey, it's New Year's, isn't it?
Yay!
Yay! Oh, by the way, I came in here and I have something for you, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I thought, you know, I come all this way, might as well give you something. Let's see here, somewhere in this. But hey, got a movie for us to review.
Oh! Is that Star Wars prequel, The Phantom Menace?
No, it's not, Joe. It's Phantom Carriage. You're off by one word.
The Phantom Carriage is an old black and white silent film that you probably haven't seen because nobody cares about those kinds of films anymore, and Michael Bay makes up $1 jillion every time he puts giant robots in an exploding city. Or maybe you have seen it, and I'm just a presumptuous asshole who wears sweaters and drinks gourmet coffee and thinks he's better than everyone else. So in a nutshell, this movie's about some asshole dude who finds out that on New Year's Eve, the last person to die before the clock strokes midnight has to drive death's carriage for the next year. He's the last person to die before midnight, and the coachman takes this man, David Holm, on a journey through his life to show him how much of an asshole he is.
Yes. He gets his brother drunk. I think he gets his kids drunk at some point, but then he's like going to like the Salvation Army and making fun of people. He's just like, yeah, you're trying to conform, yeah, what kind of... You're an idiot.
Not even joking, this guy is the most unlikable character of all time.
Yeah, like he eventually like crashes at this Salvation Army and this nice lady just like mends his coat for him because it's all shabby, and the next morning he notices it, and when he notices that she did it, he just like rips it apart. Like he just like buns and is like, yeah, I like it this way, you know? How dare you mend my coat?
The first time I saw this movie, I felt like I had seen this exact story before.
Yeah, something about some kind of a stingy old man who gets haunted by a couple of spirits on a holiday night and kind of has a turn of heart.
Just in a nutshell.
Is that Vampire Kiss?
Yes.
It's a horrible, horrible job. I couldn't think of a more horrible job if I wanted to. And you have to do it. You have to, or I'll fire you. Do you understand?
Do you think that this movie was directly inspired by A Christmas Carol, or was it inspired by a much larger folklore that had been around for much longer? Because this movie it's a Swedish movie.
Yeah.
Whereas Charles Dickens obviously wasn't Swedish.
No. But I'm noticing there's a common theme back then. It seems like you told a lot of ghost stories around Christmas time and the New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it's like towards the end of the year, you're gathered around friends, it's a chance to, you know, renew your life again. It's something I think a lot of people like resonate with. So maybe it is based off of a folklore. I can't really pinpoint it, but
it's certainly the sort of story that you feel like could be adapted to different kinds of cultures in their own way.
One thing I thought that was interesting about this, especially even with A Christmas Carol, is that the ghosts that visit the protagonist is always like someone that they knew from their life, a best friend, acquaintance, and they always like have the face of death. I mean, honestly, I would actually like that. I would not mind being greeted by someone who I remember and having a fun time with. I mean, who would want to be greeted by like a guy with a skull under a hood with a giant teeth anyway? I mean, that's, I mean, who really comes to you like that?
You never see that. It's
exactly,
not something that
nowhere.
realistically
Seriously,
happens.
nowhere. So why? One thing I did like about this film was the acting, actually. The acting, I thought, was something really rare, especially for its time. These people felt believable. Like, their performances were believable. Like, you could actually feel the emotion that was going on in there.
Well, that's the thing about a lot of these silent films, is that there needs to be a perfect balance between overacting and playing something realistically. Overacting actually is very important for silent films because there is no dialogue and because all the shots are typically these wider, very straightforward shots. And in order to get any sort of emotion across, you have to be able to project your emotion through your facial features, through your many silent films of the time you're used to are the Charlie Chaplin, Buster
Yeah.
Keaton. It's all about the slapstick comedy. It's all about the camera work. It's about a visual representation of something bigger. Whereas this movie, it's a dialogue movie through and through, because most of the movie is just people standing around talking to each other.
Exactly.
But it works because at the heart of the film is the story and the characters, and the fact that they can make you care about these people, even though you can't hear a word they're saying, is really telling to the quality of the movie. But it does have some really cool spectacles to it.
They do, especially for its time.
This is one of those examples of a movie where the effects work is very obviously dated, but you're willing to forgive that and just forget that because you know of the era that it was made. Because you know that's actually pretty impressive that they were able to pull that off back then.
I mean, you had the ghosts like coming through doors, and even like going underwater. There's like an underwater scene in this for its day and
Yeah,
age.
the effects are really effective. Get effect and effective.
Effective.
That's the words in the word. That's the joke. And finally, it's worth noting that this film director, Victor Sjustrom, I believe is how you pronounce it. Victor Shoestring. He was a huge influence on a filmmaker you may have heard of called Ingrid Bergman.
Joe, no, it's Ingmar Bergman. Ingmar Bergman was. That's right. He was actually a huge influence on Ingmar Bergman.
But it makes sense, especially with the image of death, which
Over the Hill. Yeah, I was kind of
another
noticing
little
this.
movie.
Yeah, one of your favorites actually.
That Ingmar Bergman made.
Yeah.
Hvem er du? Jeg er døden.
If you watch The Seventh Seal by Ingmar Bergman, you can see a lot of the influences he took from Victor Sjostrom, who made The Phantom Carriage. Just in the way that they present death as this cloaked figure, some of the rocky sea shots as well, I've noticed. And Bergman has said in interviews that Sjostrom was a really big influence, not just on The Seventh Seal, but on his films in general.
And not even just Ingmar Bergman, but even Kubrick and a lot of other famous directors.
Yeah, it's just kind of interesting to think about a little film like this that probably not very many people have actually heard of, and much less have seen.
Yeah.
Has had such a huge influence on films in general and such influential filmmakers that I don't know. It's just fascinating to me that a movie like this can get forgotten.
Yeah. So the message that we're trying to get out to you guys is, go see The Phantom Carriage. You do not know what you're missing out.
It makes a great little New Year's Eve movie.
It does.
Yeah.
Just pop it in, get a bunch of friends over and just say, hey guys, New Year's coming around.
Hey bros, don't forget to bring the keg. I totally got Phantom Carriage. So let's watch this 1920s silent film, bro.
Oh, and just remember, don't die before midnight. Don't die.
Is this how cool people talk these days?
I have no idea.
I wouldn't know.
They probably don't wear overcoats like me.
I like this movie a lot. I can't say it's one of my favorites, but it's certainly one that I think warrants a traditional viewing every year on New Year's Eve for myself, at least. It's a wonderful movie. It's, for me, again, it all comes down to it from a historical standpoint. It's just fascinating to watch. It has a really great story. It has some great messages in there, and the characters are very memorable.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I really enjoyed this film, surprisingly. I mean, I had never heard about it. I remember you picking it out, and we're like, okay, let's watch it. And I was like, holy cow, this is like up there with like one of my favorite like silent films.
Yeah.
I love silent films, if anyone does not know. The acting, the directing, they really took a lot of thought and care into telling the story. This was not something that they were just like, oh yeah, we're going to shoot it. And it's really a nice reflection of the other side of the world and what it was doing in cinema during its day. It's really kind of cool. And for me, I really recommend it for anybody. Yeah, so thank you for reviving me, Joe, bringing me back to life with this ghastly movie, I guess you could say. You have a lot of interesting dolls around here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, especially this one right here, it's kind of...
Where'd that come from? I don't recognize that.
Oh, well. You know what? I'm going to head on out. Thanks for bringing me back to life. Coffee. I'm just going to head out now.
Where's that?
Oh, don't worry. It's probably something you got for Katira. You kind of forgot about it. Don't worry about it, man.
I'm Don't.
All
yell at
right.
me.
I'll see you in a few weeks.
You want some coffee?